What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Sorry. I'm gonna stop being late. I was trying to get some reviews done before I came on here, and then I had to make a phone call real quick because El Teddy is gonna go live when I'm done. So when I'm done, we're gonna kick it over to El Teddy. Over on his channel, honey. Excuse me. Y'all, Ebby. Little baby in the house, Ebby in the house. How you guys doing today? So we're gonna keep this strictly to an hour, so we can kick it over to El Teddy. So we're gonna get off of here 7:45. I know I'm a few minutes late, but we're gonna kick it. We're gonna get off here at 7:45 my time. Well, hey Regina, hey, that's my sis. What's up, sis? How you doing, boo? How are you? Yes. I'll see you Wednesday. See you Wednesday. Hey, Diva Law. Hey, Tommy. How you doing, boo? How you guys doing today? Yes, my girl Regina is in the house. Nice to see you come through. Yes. What's up, JJ from BK? What's up, Rochelle? How you guys doing today? So we're going to kick over the Kirk Franklin story. El Teddy's going to cover on his when he does his live, okay? Me and him were talking about it this morning, and he was telling me he wanted to discuss it on his channel. So we're gonna he's gonna talk about it over there. And I know Ebby talked about it a little bit earlier today. So she talked about it on her live earlier today as well. It's an interesting story. Now, today I got a news alert that we talked a couple of weeks ago about finally in this thing. So we talked a few weeks ago about California passing the law that's going to open up the door for athletes to be able to start making money off their image and likeness and get compensation at play for the NCAA. And we had a conversation about it. And hey, Really B, hey Nab, hey boo. That's my boo down there. That's my boo, my Louisiana boo. And excuse me. And we saw today where the NCAA has voted to open up the door as well to allow athletes to be compensated for playing and also on their likeness. Now, once again, like we said when we first had that conversation, that's not going to be an overnight process. We know it's going to be a long process. We know that there are a lot of layers to that process because there are a lot of different sports that involves, a lot of different schools. Are we talking about just Division I schools? What is that going to look like? How does that trickle down? I mean, if you are in a sport like fencing versus a sport like football, what is the compensation going to look like? Now, I personally think the compensation should be based on the money that the school makes off of that sport, personally. So if the moneymaker is football, obviously the football players would be more compensated than the swim team. But there are some schools, especially out in the Midwest, where gymnastics, volleyball, swimming, there's some schools where that's their bread and butter. Like Stanford is known for their women's gymnastics. You know what I mean? So it's not to say that you wouldn't be able to make any money. I'm sorry. So it's not to say that you wouldn't be able to make any money if you were in a sport like gymnastics or some other sports. Hey, what's up, Reese's Pieces? How you doing, baby? Well, yeah, scholarship definitely should not be considered. You about to make some gumbo? Oh, I would love to taste your gumbo, Nap. It is probably so good. Y'all, if y'all haven't checked out Nep and his cooking, honey, he does mukbangs over there on his channel. Well, actually, Nep does a little bit of everything, but he does his mukbangs, honey, and he does his cooking, and it look good. It look good when he be cooking, honey. But anyway, yeah. And I know it's gumbo season, honey. It's that good time of year too for some good old gumbo, honey. Baby. Yes. And good to see you too, Miss Reese's Pieces. And yeah, so I think that for myself, I'm cool with the idea of athletes getting some sort of compensation. I understand that they get that scholarship. Yes, they get their college paid for, which is a great thing. But in a lot of cases, we also see where these athletes give so much of everything, and then when it's all over said and done, the payoff, what's up, El Teddy? The payoff is supposed to be that they get this great career, and we know that is just not. That is the exception and not the rule. Like, we know that. We know that them going on to go pro in their sport is the exception. You're doing gizzards, oysters, crab, crawfish, and chicken. Oh, that sounds good. Except for the gizzards part. I'm not real big on gizzards. But the rest of that sounds good. I can pick the gizzards out, honey. I pick the gizzards out. Excuse me. But yeah, so I think it's a great thing. Again, they just voted. There's a long process to go. But I think the fact that they're even voting yes is a positive move in the right direction. So I like it. I think we're moving in the right direction when it comes to supporting our student athletes. Like I said before, when I talked about this the last time, these schools are making millions of dollars off of these kids. And yes, they're getting their scholarship paid for, but I mean, I'm just saying, let them make money off of their jersey sales or something. I mean, give them something. Give them some sort of compensation. That's just my 2 cents on it. That is my 2 cents on it. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that is my 2 cents on it. Yesterday, we didn't get a chance to finish doing two of our hashtags. One was Flavor Flav and one was TV Talk. And I saw Abby talk. That was one of hers earlier today too, was about Flavor Flav. Y'all, Flavor Flav, he's 60 years old, which I didn't know Flavor Flav was that damn old. I didn't realize Flavor Flav was that much older than me because I grew up, like Public Enemy is one of my favorite groups of all time. Like, I love Public Enemy. And I just did not realize that Flavor Flav was that much older than me. Like, I was thinking Flavor Flav was sort of like, within a 5-year window of me. No, no, it's a much bigger window. And I just did not know that. So, yeah, Flavor Flav, he just fathered a 2-month-old. Now, if you know anything about Flavor Flav, first of all, if you don't know who Flavor Flav is, I'm going to need y'all to go Google it. But if you know anything about Flavor Flav, then what you know is that Flavor Flav has always gotten in trouble with his situation with his kids. He is always in the news for being arrested for being on back child support, not paying his child support, not being up to date on his child support. So this is something that is, been a problem. But, supposedly he had turned over a new leaf. He was happily married, living out in Vegas. Baby, he got a 2-month-old baby. And they just had to do a paternity test because he was, of course, he's going to say it ain't his, Child. 60 years old. And yes, you're right, Carmax. He has always looked old. But I thought he just looked old because he just looked old. I didn't know that I thought he just looked old because he looked old. I don't know. Child. 60? Right. What he gonna do with a 2-month-old? Well, Reese's Pieces, with men, it works. You know what I mean? Men, oh gosh, men. Y'all saw Larry King father the child when he was in his 70s. Okay? How you just... Let me say the baby gonna come out looking like Benjamin Button. But yeah, Flavor Flav has always looked old. Hey, boo, what's up? Yes, B, how you doing, boo? He's another content creator. You guys need to check him out. And we'll be, hopefully, over the next couple of months, we'll be doing some more collabs together with a couple of shows that we reviewed together will be coming out. And I'm just invite him on the panel. He has great commentary as well on pop culture and different things. Ron Isley has a child under 10. God. Mr. Big out there doing it big, huh? Under 10? That's just nasty. That's a lot. I'm sorry. That's a lot. That's a lot. You can't do nothing. You can't throw the ball. That's a lot, y'all. 80. Damn, he is damn near 80. He got a 10-year-old. That's a lot. You just waking up. Yes, bitch. I took me a nap earlier today, too. I didn't sleep well last night. Like, I woke up at 4:30 and was wide awake and could not go back to sleep. And so I was struggling. I ain't gonna lie. I was struggling. Honey. El Teddy, are you still in here? I know you in and out because you just getting home from work. Are you still in here? I'll wait and see if he pops up. Yeah, so we left off. So anyway, y'all, I don't know. Eddie Levert has a young child. Eddie Levert does too? What? Well, I wonder if Eddie Levert, you know, with him losing both of his sons, I wonder if with him it's sort of not replacing his sons, but maybe subconsciously maybe replacing his sons, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? El Teddy, Regina Tanner. El Teddy, meet Regina. Regina, meet El Teddy. She's in the chat. Regina's one of my sisters. El Teddy is, you know, with us. Anyway. Oh, your allergies are bothering you. You had to pop a Benadryl. I ain't had to pop nothing, honey. I put my head down on that pillow, closed my eyes, and next thing I knew, the alarm was going off to wake me up. Because if not, I probably would still be laid down, honey. Girl, Abby said if he don't set his life alert, if he don't set his life alert, Abby, stop it. You better stop it. But yeah, I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I've always loved Flavor Flav. I ain't never saw an attraction there. Now, my attraction was to Chuck D. Baby. I still love me some Chuck D. I about lost my mind. Like, I turned into a real groupie when Chuck D started following me on Twitter. I said, now, it made me feel special. But yes, honey, I probably stalked him so much on Twitter that he just said, you know, I'm going to go on and follow this woman before she lose her mind. Because, baby, I love me some Chuck D. I mean, I was never inappropriate, but I made it clear how much he meant to me growing up. Yes. But really, honestly, though, like, I love Chuck D. I love Public Enemy, but they raised my consciousness as a high school student. They introduced me to a lot of things, concepts, ideas, and people that I didn't learn about in school. You know what I mean? They would say things in their songs that made me want to go and research and find out what they were talking about. So yes, I love me some Chuck D, but they really did help mold my young mind when I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. If you listen to their music, like, you definitely, if you have the kind of brain that I have where I hear something that I don't know and then I want to run out and learn everything about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but Flavor Flav, I remember there was this was a couple of years back when they would, I think they were doing like the history of Yo MTV Raps, and they had Ed Lover and you know, his boy, his sidekick. What was his name? Who was it? Ed Lover and the heavy guy. What was his name, y'all? That did Yo MTV Raps with him, and they talked about. I mean, he better be. He got about 10. That had to be baby number like 10 or 11. Like, he is definitely in the double digits. So I guess he got something going on, honey. He got something going on. At what age? I don't think there's an age that you should stop having sex. I think you should, as long as your body responds and his or her body responds, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I think there might be an age that you should stop procreating children. I'm just saying. I do think that. I think there's an age that, like, in our reality, and this is not to be funny, and far be it for me to tell a woman or a man what they should do with their body. But I feel, Dr. Dre, thank you. But I feel like there definitely should be a point where you say, it's not fair to bring a child into this situation because their parents will not be here to raise them. Or the father certainly won't be here to raise them. But on the flip side is, if you're younger than your husband and you want a child, so, and there's no guarantees. I mean, we all can jump up one day and be gone. So I don't know. I see both sides of the coin, but I just don't know. Oh, I didn't know Dr. Dre. Oh, he's blind? Oh, wow. I didn't know he went blind. I knew he was having some health issues, but I didn't know he had gone blind. Oh, wow, Nicole. Thanks for that. I didn't know that. But they were telling a story. They were doing this a few years ago. They were celebrating the anniversary of Yo MTV Raps. It was one of those big anniversaries, probably 30-year, 20-year. Hey, Cookie. And they were telling the story about when Public Enemy performed at Yo MTV Raps. And while they were performing, they said, first of all, Flavor Flav was late. And it was holding up the performance because he was late. Then when he showed up, and while they were performing, a vial of crack cocaine fell out of his pocket. And they showed the footage. And you could see it on the footage that when he went and put his hand in his pocket, something flew out of his hand. Like, they showed it. Now, of course, in real time, 30 years ago, nobody knew what it really was. They just looked like something flying flying out of his pocket. But they were like, no, it was a vial of crack cocaine. And they said Chuck D was heated. He was so pissed off. Like, when he saw what it was and he looked down and he looked back up at Flat, he was hot. Oh, he was hot. And it was just funny to see when they showed the footage back and you were like, that was crack. You know what I mean? So Flavor Flav has had demons for many, 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 many years, because that was at the height of, matter of fact, that wasn't even the height. That was their first performance on Yo MTV Rap. So that was probably near the very beginning of their story. Hey, Lee Lovable, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Divine Lady. Well, hello. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry. Yeah, so yeah, it was very interesting to hear those backstories. There's a thing, and I haven't been looking at it. It's in my DVR. Y'all know I told you I got 20 million things in my DVR. But then Angie Martinez is doing a show on WeTV called The Untold Stories of Hip Hop, and I'm sure there's some good stories. I'm sure there's some good stories there. Yeah, little baby, his daughter was on Growing Up Hip Hop New York, and I honestly have not finished watching it. It's in my DVR, and my intention was to review it. I really was going to review the show, but one week led to another week, which led which led to another week, and I never got around to it. But yeah, her and her father have physically come to blows. Oh yeah, yes, B. I mean, it's nothing new. These artists, having their little booger sugar waiting for them backstage or before they go on stage. Yeah, that's nothing new. But it's just interesting to get those backstories and be able to see it. Like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, they go to crack. Child. I mean, that's why they had the paternity test, because I guess nobody believed he was that baby's father, except for the that woman. Excuse me. That's crazy, right? I don't know. Why would you want to have a child by a 70-year-old man you're not married to, or a 60-year-old man you're not married to? Like, Flavor Flav don't have no money, so it wasn't for the money. Like, what could you possibly be wanting to gain from that? Like, what? Doesn't even make no sense. Yeah, and honestly, Growing Up Hip Hop New York, because I was gonna do, because that came on at the same time as Black Ink Crew Compton, and people asked me to review both, and I was like, I can't do both. I'll do one. And I looked at the first episode of Black Ink Crew Compton, and I looked at the first episode of Growing Up Hip Hop New York, and I was like, out the two, I probably could do New York, even though the Growing Up Hip Hop don't usually hold my interest for an entire season. I'll be trying. I try. I have not seen the new teaser clip. I knew it was coming out. Remember, Markel told us it was coming out, but I haven't seen it. What, it came out today? Yeah, I used to love Behind the Music. Behind the Music was my show. And True Hollywood Story, they rebooted it, Yes B, and they did an episode last week on women in hip hop. And it was actually pretty decent. And they talked about how, the hip hop industry pits women against each other and how the system is created so that basically no two women can be on top at the same time. And they talk about the beefs and stuff like that. It was actually pretty decent. It's probably in the DVD, you could on demand. But but I'm gonna tell you what else I used to love. Lifetime used to do Intimate Portrait, and it was about women. Child. They did a couple of the one they did on Mary J. Blige was so raw. Like it was so you could tell that Lifetime must have had like final editing approval because it was not whitewashed at all. And that was probably the most specific that I have seen Mary J. Blige speak on her life and speak on her relationship with Casey. I mean, she talked about how bad the abuse was with him. And even her mother was like, I will never forget her mother saying, you treat a dog better than he treated my daughter. And I just remember Tisha Campbell did an Intimate Portrait. I never saw Tisha Campbell's, but that's a show they kind of need to reboot because they got a whole nother set of women now that they could do these stories on. It was years ago, Rochelle. I can't remember when they stopped doing it, but I remember why I used to love it. And of course, they did a lot of like the old Hollywood legends that, the names you would expect to hear, the Natalie Woods and the Marilyn Monroes and Carol Burnett's. Like they did a lot of, because it's still Lifetime. So it's still Lifetime. But I just remember the one on Mary J. Blige just sticks out because that was the first time I had heard so specifically her battles. And that was long before she got married to Kendu. That was before she got married. That was either in the beginning of when she first got married to Kendu and she was talking about, I think that might have been when she first married him. I think it might have came out around the time of the No More Drama album. Because, of course, that's how they were talking about how she's clean now and she's found love again and blah, 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 blah. But it was very specific. I mean, she spoke on the abuse. She spoke on how she got that scar on her face. She got down and dirty. She spoke about how bad her drug addiction was. She said, look, I ain't saying I was smoking a little bit of weed. She said, I was doing drugs. She said, I was doing hard drugs. I was drinking and I was drugging. She was like, it wasn't no little bit of weed. It wasn't no little bit of this. She said, I was doing drugs. She said, she talked about one night she did a ball of cocaine. Like, how it wasn't crack, but it was like a ball of cocaine. And she said she just kept chipping off of the ball. And honey, it got deep. I was like, I'd never heard her talk that raw before about her addiction and everything and her abuse. She talked about when she was molested as a child and stuff like that. I just never heard her go that deep before. And I honestly have never heard her go that deep again. I've heard her speak on it. But if you listen to Mary J. Blige interview, she talks very broad. I mean, she obviously admits to having substance abuse issues, but I never heard her get that specific again. Never heard her that. I can believe that because Casey was a part of Jodeci and he was high and drinking, having all those women thrown at him. And with him being country and not having, they bought a house in New Jersey and they lived in New Jersey. And her mother talked about how she would go months without seeing her daughter and how he wouldn't she had to ask permission to go out. But they probably were doing that Bobby Whitney thing where they were laid up in that house high and drunk together for weeks and months at a time. And, she talked about her reputation in the industry because, what's up, Danielle? Because, her reputation in the industry was horrible. She was known for missing events. She was known for blowing off reporters. She had a nasty attitude. She was disrespectful. Like, she talked about all of that. She was very, very honest about all of it. She talked about why that's why if you look back on Mary J. Blige's career, there was a point in time in her career where she always had on sunglasses. Always. She was like, because I was always high. Always had on sunglasses. Child, I remember when she detailed her snorting cocaine, it was a whole mess, very raw. So yes, bitch, you saw that episode, so you know what I'm talking about. She got very specific, and she was talking about, and she said that she almost died that night. Like, again, the more I talk about it, the more I'm remembering. She talked about the fact that night she almost died that night, and she was saying how she was hallucinating and she saw angels. Like, she got really raw, but she was talking about she just kept snorting, and she was like she almost died that night. They had to actually call. Somebody had to call, and they called one of those those home concierges that the celebrities can get to come to their house and keep it keep it hush hush. Yes, I remember that. Yes, bitch, you remember. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Coco. I have never heard her speak that candidly and that openly again. That's why I said Lifetime must have had final approval instead of her having final approval, because I am certain that her management team would not have let some of that come out. And you might be able to find it on YouTube. A lot of those old shows people have uploaded to YouTube. You probably could find it on YouTube. Or even if you go to Lifetime's, like, if Lifetime has an app, they might have the old episodes of Intimate Portrait on the app. But that's a show they should reboot, because it was really good. And like I said, as far as I know, there haven't been any new episodes of Intimate Portrait in at least a good 10 years. Excuse me. And in the last 10 years, there are so many more women, because Lifetime is like a woman's channel. There are so many more women that they could profile that have hit their peak or become relevant in the last, and I won't even use the word relevant, but just women that have been out there in the last 10 years that they could definitely, because it was really good. It was really good. Hey, El Teddy, he's back. Now, that's also true. Addicts will get together and binge and then have to sleep it off for days just to go back. Yeah, exactly. Did they think Flavor Flav acted like that for no reason? Well, Shakira, I'm certain that Chuck D knew Flavor Flav. And also remember, this was at a time when crack was just sort of hitting its peak. So I'm pretty certain that they knew that Flavor Flav smoked weed. They might have even known that Flavor Flav was, snorting a little something. But I think the shock of him having crack cocaine maybe but it didn't. But either way, they said Chuck D was pissed. I'm sure Chuck D knew that he got high. I'm sure he knew that he got high. I mean, you'd be a fool not to think he did. I think she was invited to that Oprah event with the girl. Yeah, the influential women. And she said she was shocked to get it. If I remember correct, and I don't think it was that same interview. I just remember seeing an interview where Mary J. Blige said that she was honored, but she was surprised that she was invited. Because I want to say that her and Oprah Winfrey did not have the best first experience. Because again, she was high and she was nasty. I don't believe her and Oprah Winfrey had the best first encounter. Yeah, Reese's Pieces there. She didn't mind sharing, but I'm just saying I'm surprised that her management team allowed it. Like I'm sure that Mary J. Blige has said too much many days because she don't care. She's a lot more polished now than she was then, but the fact that a lot of it never came out says to me that there are people that are going behind her editing stuff and making sure, because a lot of times with these celebrities, they have final edit approval on a lot of stuff, especially the bigger stars they become. That's why you notice the bigger stars are the more generic their interviews are, because the bigger star they are, the more control they have over what is being asked of them. When they're younger stars and they just trying to get on, a lot of times the questions that are being asked are very broad. You know what I'm saying? But the older they get, the more relevant, the more their star rises, they are able to dictate more and more what's being said. You know what I'm saying? I saw Tisha's on YouTube. She talked about how her working since a child and basically being the breadwinner for the family caused her to break down. That breakdown started around the end of Martin. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. I have to go see. So it's on YouTube. So I have to go back and look at Tisha. Now I have not looked at her uncensored. I have it in my DVR, but you know she did an uncensored episode a few weeks ago on BET, and I haven't. I've saw some clips of what she talked about, but I have not seen that. But yeah, Tisha Campbell has been working since she was a child, and unfortunately, we know that with a lot of child actors and actresses, that's the kind of stuff that happens. Behind the Music. Hey, Crispies, how you doing? Yeah, Behind the Music used to be my show too. I used to love me some Behind the Music, y'all. Those drugs messed up her vocal cord. Well, look, I ain't never been one of them people that thought Mary J. Blige was the best singer in the world. I ain't gonna say she was horrible. I'm gonna just say I ain't think she was the best. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh yeah. See, El Teddy said the same thing I said. Tisha's Uncensored was good also. She talked about her rape in the Intimate Portrait, but she didn't detail it like she did in the Uncensored. Oh wow. Wow. So many, y'all. You know, I noticed that, excuse me. I noticed that when I look at, especially when I look at like Ayala Van Zandt, so much trauma, so much sexual abuse that ends up creating the situation that we find our women in. It's so sad. It is so sad. Sorry, y'all. Oh, it's Red Tuesday? All right, with the red on. Y'all know what? I let October go by. El Teddy and I talked about doing a conversation on what I did not know was that October was LGBTQIA History Month, which I did not know. And also we know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which I did know. And I have not talked about either one. And the month is almost over, honey. Didn't October fly by, or was it just me? Is it me or did it fly by? Because y'all realize we only about 3 weeks away from Thanksgiving. Hey, QI, what's up? Excuse me. What's up, babe? How you doing? You know what? Educators in North Carolina wear red every... Is it Tuesday? Maybe it is Tuesday. I know educators in North Carolina wear red once a week as well. We wear red. I don't think we wear red. Well, I can say I don't think. I know we don't wear red every Tuesday. Oh shoot. Yeah. Oh shoot. I think I left. Dang on it. I'm looking for something in my bag. This is my work bag. Stuff just be falling to the bottom of it. But I think I left something in my car that I'm looking for right now. Damn it. Yeah, I must have left it in my car. Damn it. Oh, shoot. Hey, Joyce, how you doing? El Teddy's gonna talk about Kirk Franklin. I'm about to throw it to El Teddy in about 15 minutes, and El Teddy we're gonna discuss it over on El Teddy's channel about Kirk Franklin. So Crispies, I think we talked about that before. So you're an educator out in California, honey. What y'all think about them? Those teachers down to the California. I mean, not California, Chicago, honey. I love Chicago Teachers Union. If y'all don't know about Chicago Teachers Union, y'all better get into it. I love Chicago Teachers Union. Do you hear me? They don't play. They don't play up there. And there, I actually met, she actually ended up getting sick. And she probably, had she not gotten cancer, she probably would have definitely, she was getting ready to start running for, she was getting ready to rev up the run for mayor against Rahm Emanuel. Now, I'm not saying she would have won against Rahm Emanuel. I'm saying that she was a thorn in his side. Do you hear me? Oh, she gave that man a run for his money. And he hated to see her coming, okay? He hated to see that woman coming, but she ended up getting brain cancer, and that really slowed her down a lot. But the Chicago Teachers Union is not to be played with. Do you hear me? They are not to be played with. Y'all know I'm very much a union girl. Very much a union girl. What is going on? This thing is pissing me off, y'all. Oh, y'all. I'm sorry. This thing is irritating my soul. Y'all know I'll be trying to multitask. I'm sorry. What in the world? Oh. What is this? I'm sorry, y'all. I was trying to do something real quick. Yeah, they are. They are definitely gangster out there. Shout out to Dr. Barbara Seasmore. Okay, QI. I'm going to have to Google her. Yeah, they are. California, Chicago, just like everything else in Chicago, they gangster. Why would I pray for the police that killed Tatiana in her own home? I disagree with Kirk Franklin. I don't think he was, maybe I misunderstood what he said. I don't think he was saying pray for the police. I think he was saying pray for her family. He said pray for her family and her nephew that had to witness her murder. That's what I heard. I didn't hear him saying anything about praying for the police that killed her. He did talk about when he won the award back in 2016, praying for the police officers who had been killed by the guy down there. But I don't remember that part. And again, I could be wrong because I only looked at his speech one time. I could be wrong. What's up, Lockhead? NCAA, I'm happy because I have a track star and a football star. Absolutely. Yeah. This can affect the future. Yeah, Lockhead, I think it's a good thing. Like I said, it's not going to happen overnight. We know it's going to take time, but I definitely. Oh, very responsible for the Chicago education system. Okay, I have to do my research on her. I'm not for me. Is that the woman that they based the movie on? That they did a movie. Cicely Tyson paid her. Is that her? Is that who you're talking about? She started her own school. Is that the woman? Maybe I'm thinking about a different woman. Oh, he said pray for the police too. Well, he's a Christian, and that's what Christians do. The police followed you the other night. Ooh. Okay, I was about to say, aren't you Lockhead? That's what I was just getting ready to say. Aren't you Lockhead? I know you do. On your Instagram. Well, I didn't know about your track star, but I know about your son who plays football, and you definitely, yes, and that is your twin. My gosh, that is your twin. You spit him out, Lockhead. Child. Sad that the State Board of Education feels Chicago is an entity all by itself, separate from the rest of the state. State funding is for Cook County, Chicago. Then the rest of the state spits out the rest. Well, that's how DC was for DC was like that for many, many, many years. It wasn't until once Michelle Rhee got there, and I don't give Michelle Rhee credit for a whole lot, but I will say that she finally brought us under the umbrella of of city employees. We weren't even under the same umbrella as DC government employees. What I mean by that is like we had a separate payroll, we had a separate benefits, I ain't gonna say separate benefit system, but it was separate. A lot of stuff was separate, and she rolled a lot of stuff under one umbrella. Oh, he does both. Okay. You know what movie I'm talking about, Reese's Pieces? Yeah, she started her own school out of her home, honey, because she got so frustrated with the school system. And it was either Detroit or Chicago. I can't remember what city it was, but it was either Detroit or Chicago. Yeah, I've noticed. I'm not gonna lie and say I've watched a lot of the videos on that side, but I have noticed that that channel that you have up when you're doing reviews. I saw you did a American Horror Story review, but I'm behind. I'm not really watching it right now, so I didn't want to click on that one. But I noticed you've been doing reviews over there. Hey, what's up, Sassy Queen? How you doing, girl? Yeah, I'm about to get off here in a few minutes because look, I'm trying to order my dinner, right? And the credit card that I have saved is an old credit card that's expired, and my wallet is in my car. I was trying to put my credit card in, but my wallet is in. I must have left my wallet in the car because it's showing in my bag, so it must be sitting in my car. So I got to order my dinner, honey. I ain't ate no dinner. Told y'all I came home and I went to sleep, child. And I didn't cook nothing. I need to go to the grocery store. I ain't been to the grocery store in about 2 weeks because I've been running and I've been out of town for the last couple of weeks. So, weekends. So, yes, honey. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, Joyce. I just feel like, how I want to word it. I understand you're not wanting to pray for the family. For the man that killed that young lady. Bye, Lockhead. Thanks for coming through. You know what? One day I'm going to graduate to Apple Pay. I just ain't set it up. I just have never set it up. Reese's Pieces, trust me, as soon as I log off, I'm going to go. If I was moving faster, I would just tell y'all to hold on while I run out there and get it. But I ain't moving that fast. I think I pulled I ain't gonna say I think. I know I pulled my Achilles heel. And I just ain't moving that fast right now. I would run out because it's right out front of my house. But I'll run out there. Trust me, I didn't realize. I'm glad I did go to reach for my wallet because I didn't realize that let me just double check one more time. But I did not realize that I had left it in the car until I went to go reach for it to pay for my dinner. But it's been a long time since I ordered pizza, and the card that I have saved in my app is expired. So, and I really don't want to use my cash. I have cash, but I don't want to use my cash. I really would prefer to use my credit card so I can hold on to my cash. Anyway, you should set up Google Wallet to store your cards in your phone. I'm real leery about all that stuff. I'm old. When it comes to that, I'm an old lady, y'all. I'm an old lady with that kind of stuff. I don't like putting too much stuff in my phone. I don't like putting too much in my phone. Look at this. I got all kinds of stuff at the bottom of this bag. This don't make no sense. Why I got all this money just at the bottom? Y'all need to clean out my work bag. It's just stuff in there. It's just stuff hanging out in the bottom of my work bag. Sassy Queen, I am okay physically. Like, I think I just pulled, I ain't gonna say I think, I pulled something in I pulled my Achilles. And what I think happened, I honestly cannot make the connection. I don't know if it's a pair of shoes that I'm wearing that aren't giving me the correct support, because I started noticing that my Achilles was bothering me, but it started off, it was just a little sore. It was just a little sore. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse to the point where the last couple of days, like once I get going, like once I start walking and I get going, I'm okay. But like when I first stand up, baby, those first couple of steps, I'll be like a little baby. I'll be like, ugh. And so today, I actually left work early today to go to urgent care. But about halfway down the urgent care, I realized that I do not have my insurance card. I don't know if y'all remember when they broke in my car and they stole some stuff out of my car. My insurance card was one of the things that was taken out of my car. And I didn't bother ordering a new insurance card because I'm going to get a new insurance card in January. And I was like, well, all of my doctors have my insurance information saved. It wasn't a press situation. Like, I replaced all of my other cards. That's part of the reason why the card, because I have 2 cards saved in that app. The second card isn't working because that's one of the cards I had to cancel. So anyway, neither here nor there. But that's why. So halfway to urgent care, I realized you don't have your insurance card. And I was like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like the hassle of trying to call. And I just didn't. So I just came home, took some aspirin. I stopped by the CVS, got some icy hot honey, rubbed it down, took some aspirin, and went to sleep. So, yeah. I just don't trust none of that Google Wallet or Apple Pay. Yeah, that's part of why I haven't set any of that stuff up. Because there's a part of me that's just like, I'm old school too. Like, I feel like my daddy, y'all. My daddy, you know how long it took my father to start using the ATM machine? I'm going to tell y'all this and then I'm going to log off. This is what it took for my daddy to start using his ATM card. Like, my father had an ATM card for a long time. He had it sitting. My parents, they have their important papers. They have a file cabinet where they keep important papers. And they have it. And this was years ago. This was before cell phones and stuff, honey. I mean, before everybody had a cell phone. Cell phones existed, obviously. But one weekend, my parents had gone out of town. And I was probably in high school because I wasn't with them. I was in high school, I guess. And the car had a flat tire. They had a flat. Something happened and they had to get the car fixed. It wasn't a flat. It was something more serious than the flat because they needed like a couple of $100s. It wasn't like a flat tire, but it was more money. I mean, it's more serious. And my mother was calling all day long to the house looking for me because, again, before cell phones, calling all day long. Now, mind you, at this point in time, I had a pager, but my mama refused to use my pager because she said only drug dealers and doctors use pagers. So, okay. So she could get in touch with me. 2 lessons were learned that day. The first lesson was my mama started paging me after that. The second lesson was my daddy started using his ATM card. So my mom was trying to get in touch with me so I could go in their file cabinet, pull out the information off my dad's credit card. Because what happened was, no, that's what it was. He had the card with him, but he had never activated it. That's what it was. He carried the card. It was in his wallet, but he had never activated the card. So he didn't remember. That was before you had to actually like call. He needed the PIN. That's what it was. Anyway, y'all, it's an old story. I'm trying to remember, but I know that's what it was. He couldn't use the card. Something was stopping him from using the card, but I'm pretty certain he needed the PIN because that was before they would send the ATM card separate and all that stuff. He needed the PIN, and the PIN was in the file cabinet because he had put it in the right place. He had filed the paperwork. He had the card in his wallet. He had never used his ATM before. Honey, it wasn't until like 7 or 8 o'clock that night that I finally came home, got their phone call, was able to get them the PIN number so they could go to the ATM machine because it was the weekend, the bank was closed, go to the ATM machine, pull the money out so they could pay and get the car out at the shop, honey. I was like, so from that day forward, my father started using his ATM card. But up until then, he was like, I don't trust it. I'm just going to go in the bank and do what I always did, take my money out, huh? You so stupid. I just didn't want to see that pasty period class. No, actually, I love my 4th period class. If I was going to skip a class, it would have been that 1st period class. I love my 4th period class. Hey, can I get PayPal $20 for pizza? Huh? What you saying, Joyce? Can you get PayPal for $20 worth of pizza? Huh? I'm confused. My mom won't order online, but she will call into the company and give them her number. Okay, Rochelle, exactly. Your mama will call. Does your insurance have an app? Yeah, Geico. You mean Blue Cross? I have Blue Cross Blue Shield. They probably do have an app. I don't have it downloaded and set up. They probably had an app though. Could you have printed something from PeopleSoft? Okay, Reese's Pieces knowing PeopleSoft. PeopleSoft is DCPS. I'm no longer with DCPS. Let me be clear. If I really went to If I really felt like it, I probably could have still gone to urgent care. It probably would have taken me a little bit longer. They would have had to call to verify. I might have had to go through a couple of more hoops, but I could have gone through with it. I just didn't. I was tired. My foot hurt, and I just didn't feel like it. But if it's still bothering me by Saturday, if it's still bothering me like this on Saturday, I'll just go Saturday, or I'll go one day after work. But yeah, Blue Cross Blue Shield probably does have an app, Shakir. I just don't have the app downloaded. Yeah. I'm not sure if you were asking for my PayPal or you wanted me to PayPal you $20. I'm not really sure. But if you're asking for my PayPal, I can drop my PayPal. If you buy me dinner, I'll take it. Yeah. Are you saying, can I PayPal the pizza? I don't know. Well, thank you, boo. I do. I want to feel better, Sue, too. Blue Cross Blue Shield has an app. I figured they did. I just don't have it set up. They have an app. You never carry your card. See, that's why I'm like my daddy, y'all. I'm my daddy. I need to have all that stuff set up, and then I could just go through and let them scan my card. Let them scan my phone. You know what? That is gonna be my resolution. My New Year's resolution is to update all of that, because like Geico has an app, and somebody hit me with a fender bender a couple like last summer, not this summer that passed, but the summer before that, and that was the first time I went into my app and was able to pull my stuff out my app. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, you need $20 for pizza. Child, I need $20 for pizza too. I thought you was treating a sister. Nah, I'm about to, child, we ain't got no Uber Eats in my neighborhood. I'm still waiting. I have downloaded the app, and every time I download the app, they say, not in your area yet. We'll keep you posted. Child, I ain't got no Uber Eats out here. I live in the hood. I live not in the hood. I live in the country. Now, what I find interesting is that I thought, because they just built up like a new little, they redid the shopping area, like that's like across the street from me. I have to come out of my neighborhood, but once I come out of my neighborhood, it's like across the street from my neighborhood. And they built a Popeyes over there, some Bojangles over there, a Taco Bell, a Subway, a Dunkin' Donuts. Then down the street, it's a McDonald's. So I just knew once they finished rebuilding all that stuff, once they opened up all that stuff, I just knew Uber Eats was going to be rolling, right? You know. Yeah, the Geico app was pretty good because I was able to pull up my information right there, no problem. Yeah. Your mother can't get it either. Your mother live out here by me. Reese's Pieces. I've looked in the Grubhub and I've looked in the Uber Eats. Now I know that the McDonald's over here delivers. I saw the sign for the McDonald's, but who wants cold fries? Okay, we about to shut it down over here. Yeah, I saw that the Popeye sandwich is coming back. I never had it the first time, and I ain't really all that pressed about it, to be honest with you. Yeah. So, and I have not, let me say this, I haven't checked the app in a couple of months, but the last time I checked the app, nothing was delivering out here. Now, the Chinese place delivers, but they slow. Like, if I order right now, it's 7:45. If I order right now, I won't be eating till 9:00. My plan was to order me a pizza, and by the time I got off of here, the pizza will be delivered. But at this point, it's easier for me to put some shoes on and just run. I don't want to go to McDonald's. That's the thing. I don't want McDonald's, though. Anyway. Oh, near Eastover. Oh, okay. She's not quite near me. Yeah. All right, y'all. So, look, we can ready to shut this thing down. We're about to head over to El Teddy's spot. He's going to talk more about the Kirk Franklin situation. He Kojic. He grew up in the church, honey. So he's definitely got some insight on TBN and the Dove Wars versus the Stellar Wars and the whole censorship issue of it. And Shouts out to all my content creators who came through to speak to a sister and say hi. We had Lockhead Boss Lady, Ebby Reviews, my big sis, Ebby Reviews. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. We know El Teddy over to his spot. Jada Nerd didn't have a chance to come through, but y'all know, check Jada Nerd out. Yes, BTV, QI, Critical Thinking Reloaded. Who else came through? If I missed you, drop it down. Drop it down in the chat if I missed you. Who else came through? I'm rolling back up. I'm scrolling back up. But thank you, everybody who came through to talk to me. Who else came through? I think that might be it. And if I'm missing anybody, I apologize. I'm scrolling back up. I think that's it. All right, you guys. Well, as far as it would let me scroll. But yeah, we're going to head on over to El Teddy 27 official. And I will see y'all over there. Check it out. Talk to y'all later. Peace.